folks, I'm Heather. I thought it's about high time I took a run at the standard BookTube Newbie Tag since I am still very much a BookTube newbie. So they're the standard 7 questions. I'm going to try and walk through them and give you a little bit of insight into who I am and why I'm messing around with a BookTube channel. So first question, of course, is why did you start your channel? I've been lurking on BookTube for a couple of years now, and I've always been intrigued by and interested in the way people have such positive conversations about reading and about why they read and how they read and what they're looking forward to. It's an interesting group of people, interesting community, and there's lots of things to learn in the process of running a BookTube channel, and I'm very much a person who's driven by learning new things. I often get frustrated and impatient with myself when something is difficult for me to learn, but I'm very much driven by the process and the outcome of trying to learn something new. So this is partly me wanting to regain a fluency in talking about books and connecting to other readers, of course, but also partly me wanting to learn how to do new things. So the second question here is, what fun and unique things might I bring to BookTube? So the most obvious thing is, of course, that I'm significantly older than the primary cohort of booktubers. I've been around the block 4 or 5 times and have read, as a result, many things. So I bring that. The other thing I bring is that I'm Canadian and I live on the east coast of Canada. I've returned to the east coast after many years of living in Ontario. I also bring an overeducated background. I've got more degrees than any one person needs to have. I've worked in an academic setting as a teacher. I've worked in the telecommunication industry, and I now work in academic libraries. So I've got kind of this mix of geographical positioning, age positioning, and being overly educated that gives me a different, potentially, perspective on things. I also read the usual range of things. I read serious things, I read frivolous things. I think a person needs both things in their lives, in their reading life. So what am I most excited about? I'm not sure, because it's sometimes hard for me to tell the difference between excitement and anxiety. I'm excited, I guess, to learn how to do this. Like, how do you get used to filming yourself and get past the self-consciousness that's just inherent in the act of filming yourself? Because everyone else knows what you look like and you sound like, but we're all so much in our heads, we don't know what we look like and sound like. So getting past that initial hurdle. I've worked in the past with interviewing people and editing audio interviews, and so I'm really familiar with the fact that we all have ums and ahs and likes and odd pauses in our speech. So I'm interested in what it's like to be on the other side of that, to be the person who's talking and trying to decide, do I edit out the ums and the ahs, the natural patterns of speech. So I'm kind of excited about that. I'm excited to learn about how to edit video effectively, how to talk about books without needing or wanting to edit a lot. I think that's kind of an interesting bundle of things to learn about. Why do I love reading? It's a very core part of who I am as a human being. I can't really remember a time when I wasn't a reader. I learned to read before I went to school, so I was reading by the time I was 4 or 5 years old, and spent most of my time in school, and whether it's in primary school, secondary school, as a university student or a graduate student, trying to figure out how to read more, to how to spend more of my time reading. It's very much tied up into how I understand myself as a person moving through the world. My primary identification, I think, is probably as a reader. I'm a person who reads a lot, and I value very much the the combination of calm and peace you get while you're simply reading, and the way your brain can be going in a million different directions while you're in that peaceful, quiet moment of reading. I really like that combination, and I love from reading how much you can get to know about the world just through the simple act of sitting still for a little while and reading. So the 6th question here is, what questions would you ask your favorite booktuber? I'd ask them how they manage the schedule of it all, how do you manage to set aside enough time to prepare to record, edit if you do edit, upload, and think about what you're reading? How do you do all of that at the same time as you are having a full personal life or are working a full-time job? So, and how do you manage to do all of filming without buying extra lights in a northern climate where the light will be gone by 5 o'clock come November and be weak before 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning? So how do people manage the mechanics of that? How do people manage to fit this into a regular routine around a working life and a personal life? I'm curious about that. I have lots of time right now, but in about 8 or 9 months, I won't have that much time to record in the middle of the afternoon or to edit in the middle of the afternoon. So how do people do that? What challenges do I think starting a BookTube channel will have that would be hard for me to overcome? I think the self-consciousness of being in front of the camera. I've recorded about a dozen videos so far, so I'm starting to get past that, but it's still a very uncomfortable thing to sit and review video and decide how much of this do I want to edit out. Do I want to edit out every little stumble, just like that little one there? Do I want to try and edit out the ums and the ahs? How much of the ordinary clumsiness of human speech am I willing to leave in? How will I get past that intense self-consciousness of seeing yourself filmed and listening to your voice? That, I think, for me, is going to be the largest challenge. The other kind of challenges are mechanical. How will I learn to be patient with my current upload speed? A little 10-minute video can take me at home uploading 3 hours to upload. And I find that incredibly frustrating. I'm not a particularly patient person. For someone who reads a lot, which is an act that requires patience, a lot of patience, I'm not particularly patient with mechanical or electronic things. So I think those will be the most challenging things for me to get past: the self-consciousness in front of a camera and impatience with some of the mechanical aspects of recording and uploading. I'm really looking forward to learning how to do a lot of BookTube videos, learning how to have conversations with people. I'm very interested in chatting to folks. So thanks for watching. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.